Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. The Parks and Rec Committee for March 23rd, getting started just after 6:30. If there's any pecuniary interest, please disclose it at the appropriate time. And our YouTube link is there listed in our agenda. We have no correspondence and no delegations this evening. So we'll head on to new business, and I'm not sure who's going to take that. Is that a mix of Ryan and Amanda, or who would like to start?
I can start, Councillor White. Thank you so much. So firstly, you will notice a new face on the meeting today. So I'd like to welcome Ryan Shamby to our Parks and Rec team as our new Parks and Recreation Manager into his first Parks and Recreation Committee meeting. So welcome, Ryan.
Thank you, Amanda.
Welcome.
Good to meet you all. I look forward to meeting you even further, and working with you further as we move forward. So thank you.
Great. Thanks, Ryan. As Ryan had just recently joined our team before this meeting, I did prepare this report, but at the end, I will refer to Ryan just for some verbal kind of operational updates since the time the report was drafted. So to start, I'll start with just walking through the report briefly, but feel free to interrupt with any questions or comments as we go through. So to start off, our COVID-19 update is less detailed this time. As you know, some of the restrictions have lifted and no longer is the arena requiring, or any public facilities requiring, proof of vaccination for entry. And as of March 21st, masking is no longer mandatory. Of course, permitted by those who wish to wear masks, but not required to enter the facility. We still do have our COVID protocols in place, so in cleaning, and we also encourage passive screening with signage, so that is still in place, and encourage physical distancing where available and appropriate. So, of course, we'll continue to monitor provincial regulations and guidance from Lambton Public Health and adjust operations accordingly. But it's great to see that facility being used without restriction. Lovely. All of the facilities. And the same with halls. So our halls are open and available for rentals with no restrictions other than physical distancing being encouraged. And signage is also present. During March break, although not related to halls, the public skating was offered every day during March break, and there was some great turnout. I saw some great photos of the ice being used like I have not seen it in 2 years, and it is wonderful. We had, I think, 30 to 40 skaters on a regular basis, so it was well used, and we were very happy to offer it, sponsored by the Township of Warwick, so free for all. In terms of downtown, so conversations on spring and summer cleanup and installation of gardens and hanging baskets has been completed. I know Ryan's met preliminarily with the Watford Warwick Horticultural Society to discuss those processes, and also met on site with them regarding Bluebird Parquet and plans. And you may see some changes at the Bluebird Parquet as recently as yesterday, with the digital sign now being removed in preparation for the Horticultural Society's renovation, so to speak, of that asset. So that's very exciting. Both ballparks are soon to be prepared for the summer season, and currently the netting project at the Warwick Park is still underway, with the work required by Hydro One approved and to be scheduled, and we're just waiting on Hydro One's timeline for completing that. Once they complete the removal of the line and bury it, we'll be able to proceed with installing the Warwick netting. As Ryan just joined our team, he will be overseeing that project this spring, and also reviewing the options for the Watford Diamond in future as well. The concession booth renovations are underway. There have been more delays than we initially anticipated, but we are still optimistic we will be open in time for operations at that concession for this spring. I think all of us are very motivated to have that available for the opening of the ball season, and we will do everything we can to support that opening in time. The library, Martina, I think you pointed this out last time, the engineer's assessments are still in review, and they now will soon be in review by Ryan. But we have had some correspondence with our partners at the Watford Library and the County of Lambton about some comments on the facility and some improvements that are needed. And Ryan will be reaching out to them to have a meeting and a preliminary conversation on our partnership and the facility. So that will be happening in short order as well. The construction progress on the East Lambton Community Complex and the arena renovation. So we're still working on the deficiency list for the Watford Arena. That process is still underway and actively being pursued by the contractor. Unfortunately, the showers in the new dressing room still remain unavailable, but we have expressed our preference to have those completed sooner rather than later. But as you can see, when you drive by, there is work being done on the exterior. You'll see now a lot of windows, the walls, and the metal deck being completed. So the addition is really moving along, and we are on track still to open in the fall. The fundraising effort related to that project has also been launched and is well underway. We have a great group of community members who have dedicated and volunteered their time to lead that process, and we're very thankful to them. We've had a few public media releases related to that project, the most recent being that the campaign cabinet itself, so our volunteer committee, has fundraised amongst themselves almost $250,000, which is amazingly generous, and we're so thankful for them for dedicating both their time and their support for the project. So that's a great start. We've also launched a website, so it is available on the township website, but there is a new website specifically on fundraising and a Facebook page. And you'll start to see, the community will start to see a lot of increased activity on those web pages and that Facebook page as we're able to start making some gift announcements. Of course, anyone who is interested in donating certainly can contact the township office, or maybe better is our members of the committee. So the members of the committee are available online, but our co-chairs are George and Ron and Noel, and we'd be happy to take questions. We're tentatively scheduling kind of a public launch event in May. So there will be more information available then, but we're happy to take any questions or comments before that time. The trail planning in Warwick. So at our last meeting, this committee received a presentation from Waste Management on their proposed trail expansion at the Twin Creeks Nature Trail. And following this meeting and the recommendation from this committee, council did also approve the concept plan. So Waste Management and the WM and Use Committee will move forward with implementing those plans over the next couple of years, which is a great, also a community asset for moving for the community. Sounds great. The Parks, Recreation, Tourism, and Culture Master Plan, as you know, was approved, and projects were completed or budgeted in the 2022 approved budget. And Brian is now reviewing those projects, and we will be working to implement them through this year. So there's still a number of things on the agenda to do this year, besides our big build and programming and preparing for that. So we will be working on that. In terms of human resources, as I mentioned, Ryan has recently joined our team, and we're very excited to have him on board and have our full staff complement up and running. All facility and ice rental, of course, continue to be coordinated through Katie Faulkner, our Parks and Rec Administrative and Facilities Assistant. And we will be undertaking recruitment for summer students. The position was advertised, the positions were advertised for 3 weeks and closed just after the March break. So we have those, and the recruitment process and interview process will begin soon. We had previously posted ads on a few occasions in an effort to recruit screeners and greeters for the Watford Arena. So that would be people who were responsible for checking vaccination, proof of vaccinations when people enter the arena. We did employ a third-party security firm, and we were looking to move that in-house. But as that's no longer a provincial requirement, we will not be completing that recruitment. And we have followed up though with every applicant just to update them and let them know. And we do appreciate their interest, and maybe there will be another opportunity for them to work with us in the future. And I think getting to the end of our report, I just wanted to update on a few requests and status. So basically the red items show the update since our last meeting. Happy to report the little library, the friendly little library at the community garden, little Parquet, was installed recently. And it's a great amenity, and we did share that information on our social media. We're thankful to the Rotary Club for coordinating that. We do have a bench on order that is sponsored by a local business. It was ordered a while ago. It takes about 12 weeks for delivery, so we're expecting it in the spring, and our Parks and Rec team will be installing those, one at that site, and then we have some others for actually the Twin Creeks Nature Trails as well to be installed this season. That's great. We completed the Watford Warwick Horticultural Society's request to relocate the flower planters in Memorial Park, so they were happy to see that completed. And also with the same Horticultural Society partner, Bluebird Parquet has begun with one of the first steps being the removal of the existing digital sign. And Ryan also met with the Horticultural Society and their team to review their plans. So I think we are set as the township to contribute what they have asked and to partner with them to refresh that downtown area. And the last item I have is the installation of a rainbow crosswalk of Nauvoo. So previously we had talked about this, and I had noted that we did have to coordinate with the County of Lambton, as Nauvoo Road is a county-owned and operated road. Through doing that, the county did provide us their permission to go ahead and install that type of amenity on the road. And our Public Works Manager did provide a report to Council at our last meeting on March 14th, recommending actually not one, but 3 rainbow crosswalks in a different configuration, so that they would be U crossing Nauvoo, and then on both sides of Ontario Street, on both sides of Nauvoo. Council supported the idea, but they did have another suggestion of looking into, I didn't write it down, a 7 Feathers crosswalk as well. Thank you, Councillor White. I'm sorry. 7 Feathers crosswalk as well. So our Public Works Manager is just getting some updated pricing and information on that to go back to Council, and it's scheduled to go back on April 4th. Once Council makes their decision on that, you will go ahead and schedule that installation, and hopefully it'll be able to be installed in the spring, summer. So that will be tying into our downtown revitalization with the Bluebird Parquet and that whole little area. It'll be a nice improvement. And as you know, special events are starting and being held, kicked off. March Break Public Skating, as we said, was held. The Watford Fire Association has their Maple Syrup Festival coming up this weekend at the Warwick Community Center. It's the first time in 2 years we've been able to have that gathering. That's really great. The carnival as well is coming up on April 2nd, and the road race is scheduled also for the long weekend. So I'm sure I'm not hitting all the special events, but those are the ones I had, and we look forward to having more events in the summer as well. Are there any questions on any of that?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead, John.
Okay, the showers. So is the difficulty still just getting the parts for the showers in the new part? Is that what it is? Is that what's holding everything up?
great question. Yes, I understand there's parts, a parts issue right now. Mhm.
Okay. And how long is the ice staying in? The end of the month, or what's the plan for the ice removal?
It will be removed following the Watford Skating Carnival, so that week following, it will be removed.
Okay.
So the
Yeah.
skating carnival is on the second.
On the first, second.
Second.
Good. Yeah, because I think Brooks, Alvinson keeping their ice in for another week or so for the other teams, and what's going on. Okay.
That's great.
That's good. Good.
Great.
And I have one more question. I'm in the Forest arena quite a bit, and in their hall and their flooring in the gym there, where they host the last few weekends when I've been there watching grandkids, there's basketball tournaments there, there's volleyball tournaments there. They have a really good floor. I don't know what kind of flooring we're putting in ours, so that it could be used for the same type of events. That's all. I wondered if that's been looked into, or who does that study for that? Maybe Todd knows, or somebody.
I think it was our engineers and Spreets, and yeah, it'll be very, I believe it is similar. Yeah.
Similar, like
It'll be similar to Forest because it's a gymnasium as well, like similar use as well as Forest. So
okay, because it has good, like the flooring's really good. It grips. It's seems very durable. So yeah, I was just wondering.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. No, it's yeah.
I do believe it's similar, also, John, to your point, and it has been ordered and selected, so hopefully it's similar, but we can double check on that. Yeah.
I'm always a little slow.
Oh, that's fun. Counselor Wade, if I might, before we turn it over to questions, Ryan, I just wanted to offer to Ryan if he had any kind of operational updates in addition to the report that was presented that he'd like to share with the committee as well today.
Okay, sure. Thank you, Amanda. The update you had provided has a lot of great items in there, a lot of exciting and important stuff. But just to build off on a couple of those items, I have been meeting with stakeholders, some of our community groups and key partners. That's a pretty important exercise that I'm undertaking now and over the course of the next few weeks. They've been great so far and very informative. So I'll continue down that road. The downtown street sweeper program with Lambton County Developmental Services. We're looking to put together that program again. It's basically runs from early May until the end of September. Sidewalk sweeping and cleaning up in the downtown district and around the Bluebird Parquet area as well. It's a great positive community program and partnership, and one that I think is important for us and exciting to be part of. So we're putting that together right now. The Bluebird Parquet project, we've talked a little bit about that already. I have met with the Sarnia Watford Horticulture Society. They have a great plan in place, exciting little project for that space as well. We did remove the clock, the township clock from that space. As you may or may not have noticed, we did have a little bit of damage to the existing clock, but we're in the process of getting that repaired as well. And the information sign that we did remove, we'll look to potentially repurpose that elsewhere as well. So when we come up with that location, we'll report back on that. A few operational items that we sort of touched upon as well. ICE is coming out April 3rd. It's a several-day process. So we're looking to undertake that. We'll use the month of April to do some indoor arena maintenance, some painting, some cleaning up. We may look to potentially change our color scheme within the arena as well, to possibly incorporate Warwick colors, red and black accents, and perhaps even the Elmha colors as well within our painting, which I think might be a great little upgrade and improvement to the arena space. We're looking into some upgrades of the arena score clock as well, which is underway, just working through those details. That's part of our approved budget this season, and a project that we're excited to to see come to completion. Be a great improvement to the arena space. We talked about the summer student laborer positions. So yes, that has closed. Very positive response. We had a great number of candidates apply, which is great. We'll be looking to review and conduct the interviews and hire over the next couple of weeks. Our summer students start May 9th and basically run until the end of August as well. You may have noticed the Horticulture Society, they did remove the winter out of the basket, or sorry, not the baskets, but the planters. So the winter material has been removed in anticipation of the spring plantings. The Taxandria Soccer Club, just an FYI, they have a new signage being erected at their entrance, which should be happening soon, which is a nice improvement to that space. And I do believe they're anticipating a full program of summer soccer this year, which is great as well. We're currently developing our summer program plan as well. Right now, just sort of diving into those details and what that program might look like this summer. Baseball, ball hockey, and of course the special event support as well throughout the summer. Registration details, timing, what that program might look like shortly. A couple other items I just wanted to mention in terms of programming as well. April, Earth Week, the Act on Litter dates are important pieces in Parks and Recreation that take place in April. And June is Parks and Recreation Month. So we'll be looking, myself and Katie, coming up with some creative ways to interact with those two events, those two programs, and promote within the community as well, which should be just sort of a fun little piece for what we do and interacting within the community. The Optimist Club had approached us to complete some minor upgrades to the spray pad area. I believe a few apparatus improvements. So that's great. We'll continue the conversation with those folks. Bleachers, I know we're looking at that as one of our key projects this summer too, and that specifically being the addition of handrails. I have been in contact with the bleacher provider, the one specifically that had installed the bleachers that we have, the ones in question. He's going, there's no simple solution, but he is going to provide me with maybe his recommendations and best path forward for us to consider. So hopefully we can move and provide some action on that item here in the spring. So that's just a couple of the key items that I thought I'd just mention here right now. And again, a lot has already been discussed within the report that Amanda provided. But yeah, just sort of getting a handle on all things Parks and Recreation and everything we've been doing in the past and what we want to continue to do moving forward here in the township. And it's been exciting for me to dive right in, and I look forward to working with this committee and everybody on it moving forward. So thank you.
Great, thanks, Ryan. Excellent. So can we get a mover and a seconder for the previous meeting's minutes that are number 2, Wayne and John, all in favor? Okay, thank you. And I think we've covered most things. There's a letter from the County of Lambton at the bottom. Should we talk about that, or?
Thanks, Councillor White. And that actually is related to the
Crosswalks.
crosswalks. So
there's nothing more.
I don't think there's anything. The report already went to council, and this is part of the report that I shared for information with the Parks and Recreation Committee,
Yeah.
so that they were aware of the information provided by council, but there's no action required.
Perfect. Yeah, and yeah, those are exciting things, and the just the Seven Feathers is recognizes our Indigenous community as well. So the rest of the committee is aware. Is there any other business that should be brought forward from anyone? Martina.
Ryan actually covered both of my questions, but I do have a follow-up. So I'm really excited to hear about the scoreboard because I've had a bazillion people asking me about it. And then for the summer programming, do we have any sort of date of when that information is going to be released? I just, like registration is closing in most of our neighboring municipalities right here shortly for all their programming. So it's hard to know if you live in this municipality, do you wait to see what's coming out, or do you register in another municipality?
Sure. And those are great questions. The first one, I'll touch upon the score clock. We're in the process of kind of determining what that end product will look like. And we can certainly share that with this committee as well, that design and the pieces to it. It will include the ability to have some advertising panels on the side, but it definitely upgraded in terms of it'll be LED. It'll fit pretty much the similar space that's there, that's existing. Should ballpark same size, just much more efficient, much more easy to operate. I think it'll be a great addition. But again, we can certainly share once we get down to those details, what that design and what that outline will look like.
That time of day clock beside it, Ryan,
Yes.
it's useless right now, right?
Yeah, it's obsolete,
Yeah.
and it won't be part of that. But we are looking at also getting an additional simple time of day clock that whether or not we put it, I doubt we would put it on that wall. We would put it back on the opposite wall and update that clock as well.
Yeah, because it's an eyesore right now.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So that's exciting in terms of the score clock. With the programming, I hate to pinpoint an exact date for those details right now, but I would think like within a week, we'll have a pretty good idea what the summer program will look like. So within 2 weeks max, we should have that information out within the public.
Great.
We're getting close.
No pressure or anything.
Any other questions from the committee? No. Seeing none. Next meeting, do we have a date for that? I know it's not on there, but just a heads up.
We do,
I was just
and just give me 1 minute.
okay.
It is
April 20th.
April 27th. Thank you, Martina.
Perfect. Excellent. Now I may, I think I'll be around for that. I'll have to check. I have to go to a tournament in Nova Scotia with my youngest daughter. So
Oh, great.
yeah, so they did really well at Ringette. So
Mhm.
Awesome.
now we've got a long drive.
Now,
That's great. Pardon?
Since
Yeah.
the new hall is going to be, or new office is going to be open, can we plan on having it in the new council chambers? Yes.
If council has resumed in-person meetings, which would be their intent by that time, then their resolution of moving back to in-person following the opening of the new office would be available, and we would be able to meet and live stream in the new office.
Good.
Great. Excellent.
Great.
All right. No further questions. Can I have a mover and a seconder for adjournment? Martina and Wayne, and John, I think, looks eager as well. So all in favor? Excellent. Thank you, John. Okay.
Thank
Have
you,
a great
folks.
evening and have fun in Florida, Wayne.
Yeah.
See
I'll
ya.
see you in a week. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.